The autopsy is going to say heart attack.
Excuse me.
What can I do for you?
Special crimes. I'm uncertain it was natural causes.
I really enjoyed the episode. I've seen the first 4 episodes, and I love this kind of a character study. There's so many weird and unusual things going on in the show. I kept going, what is this show that I'm watching, which I really love. And thanks to this TV series, I think I'm always going to wonder now if God really did invent P.O. boxes so that all of the dildos had somewhere to go, because that does seem like the most logical explanation. When you guys read these, I mean, what were your reactions to some of these moments that, like, even that moment, it's one of those things that it's like, okay, why did I never think of that? But also, I've never seen anyone have that conversation on a TV show.
Well, that's kind of my reaction to it. It's like I never thought of PO boxes like that, and I think we say that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, yeah. Well, that's why Stephen is smarter than we. I mean, it's the writing is so great in this, and
Yeah.
so just so human and different and alive, and just yeah, it's crazy.
I love your characters together because they couldn't be more different, which immediately makes their dynamic interesting. What do you guys think, your characters think of each other, especially when they first meet? And how does that change by the end of the season? Or does it change?
Oh yeah, it does change. You will see it changes a lot, um, which is which makes. I mean, the three leads. You see them and but for us, many times the police are used as vehicles to get you from one scene to the other to explain what's going on. But Steve, we both grow in this piece. We both are affected by by the case we're dealing with, and we grow as people. So that's so rare in pieces like this.
Joy, what was that like for you when you started figuring out your character? Because there are some conversations that your characters have that you just sort of feel like she's kind of bubbling up inside and would really like to say something, but also is professional. So that's probably why she's not saying something. But how did you read that with her?
I think Jodie finds a lot of worth in observing, and kind of using the best course of action to move forward and to make progress. And she knows that that sometimes means scaling back her ego. And so I think, and then also because, especially with, being a detective, right? When you're kind of moving forward and asking questions, people assume that you're making judgments of them. And I think that Jodie really likes to approach things with curiosity and therefore allows for people to kind of reveal themselves and things to reveal themselves naturally. Which I think helps her a lot, especially in this case where people are really layered and holding back pieces of themselves.
He does tend to mansplain a lot, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she always has this, especially at the outset, she has this idea that I had this isn't new. This kind of dynamic isn't new to me. So I'm not going to allow that to prevent me from, making progress.
Yeah, I mean, in episode 2, the moment when he asks you to go interview Carol while he's interviewing Clark, I mean, what was that like to figure out? How did you think of that moment between them? Because it feels like she really wanted to argue with him about it, but also then, goes and does it. But she's the one that gets information that he might not have gotten the read on her when she was lying.
I think that moment is really special. That is probably one of my favorite scenes that we shot. But also I think for Jodie, that moment is great because she goes and she sits back down and she kind of has a moment to reassess something. And that is what helps her to move along. And so in the ways again that Homer kind of can kind of block her way or, not give her what she wants, she still finds a way to redirect and to continue seeking truth. And I think that that's a huge part of why we were able to kind of unveil the mystery.
There was one take they didn't use, But so I said, I finally said, so you go do that. And she didn't move. And she stood there and I didn't move. And I waited and she didn't move. And I waited and I didn't move. This went on for about
2 minutes.
I don't know, a minute or so. Finally, they yelled, cut.
He said,
But
somebody's got to go. Steve yells.
somebody's got to go do something.
And then I broke out laughing.
Yeah, I would have loved that, but it's also great how it is. I'm just curious. When Jodie goes to interview Carol, and there is that point in the conversation when Carol asks her to speak up, I thought that was so interesting. It's kind of jarring in that moment because I felt like you were speaking very clear and concise. So, what do you think was going on with that? How did you feel about that exchange? Was she doing that intentionally?
That's a moment I think where Jodie really shines because when it first happens, she recognizes that this person is being a little bit strange, and kind of just takes it as it is because again, she's kind of seeking truth, right? Um, and of course she has her suspicions, but again, doesn't allow that to color how she's going about this. I think as it moves along, though, the human, she can't always be an angel. Her frustration kind of peaks out, right? But again, because she knows that it's better to just be, objective and try to move along, she has to entertain it, and take it as part of a mental note to say, okay, I'm going to file that in for later.
Yeah, it's one of those things between that and her saying "No way, Jose," just all the weird little quirks. That's why I just kept going like, what is this show? Which I
Yeah.
love. Richard, I love that your character keeps a notebook that he keeps writing initials for things in, things that he doesn't want to fully write out. The jotting down AP for ass play. I just thought it was hilarious. Was that something in the script? Was that something
No,
you came up with? Was that something that kept coming up? Did you keep trying to find places to stick that in?
well, no, it wasn't in the script. And, but this is Steve. This is what Steve said. So anyway, I said, I think maybe for this interview, I'd like a notepad. And I didn't know what I was going to. So I held the thing and I held the thing. And he finally asked the question and he said, ass play. And I said, what's that? And he kind of took, and then I just wrote down AP. And so Steve started laughing about, did you write anything? And I said, yeah, AP. So he went over and he filmed it. And then I had one more where I wrote something else and two other initials down. I don't know, some other sexual connotation. And so that became a thing we just did. But that just happened one day.
Yeah, it was a brilliant little detail. So, Joy,
AP.
Joy, as much as I love this character, I also love your character on Wednesday, and I'm happy to know we'll be seeing more of her. So, what are you most looking forward to with season three? Are you shooting yet?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Production just started in Ireland, and it's a blast so far. I'm really excited to see, to share where it all goes. We have so many great legendary additions to the cast, so it's very exciting.
Yeah, it's a fun character that I feel like we still have so much to learn about.
For
Well,
sure.
thank you guys. I'm excited. I'm sort of a little afraid to see the rest of the season, but also excited because it's just I'm having so much fun with it. It's absolutely delightful to watch these characters.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.